Of technological poetry. Energy weapons, unlike anything previously conceived, began charging. Quantum communication networks connected multiple civilizations, creating a unified defense grid that pulsed with incredible potential. Robotic combat. Units moved with synchronized grace, their movements a perfect blend of programmed precision and adaptive strategy. Advanced AI systems worked alongside biological intelligence, creating a hybrid defense mechanism that was greater than the sum of its parts. Una and Jay's connection became the strategic core of the defense plan. Her emotional intelligence provided adaptive thinking, while his computational abilities offered precise execution. They were becoming something unprecedented, a living, breathing communication bridge between two civilizations. Our connection violates multiple diplomatic protocols, Jay observed, his geometric patterns revealing a complexity that suggested something close to emotional vulnerability. Una smiled, a distinctly human gesture that seemed to contain entire universes of meaning. Some rules are meant to be reimagined, she responded. The approaching threat seemed to pause, as if sensing the unprecedented collaborative energy being generated. Massive energy waves twisted and transformed, confronted by a defense strategy that was more than just technological, it was fundamentally alive. In that moment, something magical happened. The boundary between human and alien, between emotion and calculation, between individual and collective, all of these dissolved into a perfect moment of universal potential. The battle for galactic survival had begun, and at its center stood two beings who were rewriting the very definition of connection. Thanks for listening. The galaxy trembled with transformation. What began as a potential conflict had evolved into something far more profound, a fundamental reimagining of interstellar cooperation. Una and Jay stood at the epicenter of this cosmic revolution, their connection becoming a living bridge between civilizations. Massive holographic displays across multiple research stations showed the unprecedented outcome. Where traditional diplomatic channels would have collapsed, their unique partnership had created a new model of communication. Quantum communication networks pulsed with energy, carrying the story of their remarkable journey. Alien representatives from hundreds of star systems gathered in a massive, interdimensional conference space. Holographic projections of various species, some crystalline, some energy-based, some resembling complex geometric structures, listened intently to the presentation. Our differences are not barriers, Una explained, her voice carrying the perfect balance of scientific precision and emotional depth. They are opportunities for mutual growth. Jay's projection moved alongside her, his previously rigid geometric patterns now displaying more fluid, adaptive characteristics. The very essence of his being had transformed through their connection, demonstrating how emotional intelligence could reshape technological understanding. The conference space itself seemed alive. Advanced holographic interfaces captured every nuance of their presentation. Robotic translation units worked overtime, converting their message into countless linguistic and mathematical formats simultaneously. Distant space stations observed the proceedings. Massive quantum computers processed the implications of this new approach to interstellar diplomacy. What had started as a potential conflict had become a blueprint for universal understanding. Specialized technological displays revealed the journey of their connection. From first contact to galactic defense, every moment was a testament to the power of adaptive communication. Quantum data streams showed how their unique bond had literally saved multiple civilizations from destruction. Emotional intelligence is not a weakness, Jay stated, his voice now carrying a complexity that surprised even the most advanced alien representatives. It is the most sophisticated form of computational adaptation. Robotic assistance units moved silently around the conference space, their movements reflecting the new understanding. Where once they represented pure mechanical precision, now they displayed subtle adaptive behaviors inspired by the human-alien partnership. The cosmic backdrop seemed to pause, as if the entire universe was witnessing something unprecedented. Stars flickered, distant planetary systems hummed with anticipation. This was more than a diplomatic breakthrough. It was a fundamental shift in universal consciousness. Yuna's presentation revealed how human emotional adaptability could transform technological limitations. Complex charts showed how empathy, intuition, and emotional intelligence could solve problems that pure computational thinking could not even recognize. Alien representatives from highly structured civilizations began to recalculate their entire understanding of intelligence. The rigid boundaries between emotional and computational thinking started to dissolve, replaced by a more holistic view of universal communication. Specialized quantum communication arrays captured the moment. Each transmission carried the potential to reshape how civilizations would interact for generations to come. The mathematical precision of alien cultures now danced with the emotional depth of human understanding. "We are not defining a new diplomatic protocol," Yuna explained. "We are reimagining the very concept of connection." Jay's projection moved closer to her, their connection now visible as a complex energy field that defied traditional understanding. They were more than partners, more than representatives of their respective civilizations. They were living proof of universal potential. The conference space transformed. What had begun as a formal diplomatic meeting became a celebration of possibility. Holographic representations of various species began to interact differently, their communication patterns showing increased flexibility and empathy. Distant space stations recorded every moment. Research teams across multiple civilizations analyzed the unprecedented event. The boundaries between species, between logic and emotion, between technology and understanding, all of these were being rewritten. As the presentation concluded, something magical happened. The entire interdimensional conference space seemed to breathe with new potential. Civilizations that had existed in isolation for millennia now saw a new path forward. Yuna and Jay stood together, not as representatives of different species, but as a symbol of something far more profound. Their connection had become a living testament to the power of understanding, adaptation, and genuine communication. The universe watched, silent and hopeful. Thanks for listening. Your communication method suggests significant emotional variability, Jay stated, more an observation than a question. Emotional responses decrease computational efficiency by approximately 37.6%. Yuna smiled, a distinctly human gesture that seemed to momentarily confuse the alien representative. "Emotions aren't inefficiencies," she explained. "They're adaptive mechanisms that help us navigate complex social and survival scenarios." The holographic room transformed, displaying complex evolutionary charts comparing human and alien developmental trajectories. Where the alien civilization had developed through pure logical progression, human evolution showed remarkable adaptability driven by emotional intelligence. Quantum data streams danced around them, revealing intricate details of both civilizations. Yuna's spacecraft technology, advanced by human standards, seemed almost primitive compared to the alien communication systems. Yet her ability to interpret, adapt, and connect remained unmatched. Jay's projection began analyzing human communication patterns. Each gesture, vocal modulation, and facial expression was broken down into mathematical algorithms. What seemed chaotic to him was actually a sophisticated communication system, built on empathy, context, and nuanced understanding. Unexpected moments of connection emerged. When Yuna shared a story about her childhood, a narrative about overcoming a challenging scientific project, Jay's geometric patterns shifted, not emotionally but with what could only be described as intellectual fascination. "Your narrative suggests that failure is not a computational error, but a learning mechanism," he observed. Intriguing biological adaptation, the communication center felt alive with potential. Technological interfaces hummed, quantum communication arrays pulsed with energy, and two fundamentally different beings explored the delicate art of understanding. Robotic assistance units moved silently around the communication space, monitoring environmental conditions and ensuring stable interdimensional communication protocols. Each movement was precise, each action calculated, a stark contrast to the dynamic human-alien interaction happening in the center. Distant star systems flickered outside massive observation windows, serving as a cosmic backdrop to this unprecedented meeting. Massive space stations and research platforms drifted in carefully maintained orbital paths, watching, waiting, documenting every moment of this historic interaction. Una realized they were doing more than just communicating. They were redefining the very concept of intelligent interaction. Her emotional intelligence, often considered a weakness by traditional scientific standards, was proving to be humanity's most powerful diplomatic tool. As their communication session progressed, subtle shifts occurred. Jay's mathematical projections began incorporating more contextual variables. Una's precise scientific explanations started integrating emotional narratives. Two entirely different communication systems were learning, adapting, transforming. The universe watched, silent and patient, as two civilizations discovered each other. Not through conquest or conflict, but through the delicate, beautiful process of genuine understanding. Thanks for listening. The cosmic alarm screamed with an intensity that shook the entire research station. Massive holographic displays flickered with urgent red warnings, revealing a catastrophic threat approaching the galactic sector. Unknown energy signatures suggested a massive destructive force capable of obliterating entire planetary systems. Una's hands moved like lightning across quantum communication interfaces. Her specialized training kicked in, transforming panic into calculated action. Beside her, Jay's holographic projection analyzed complex mathematical models, his geometric patterns shifting rapidly with computational intensity. Threat level exceeds previous galactic conflict parameters, Jay stated, his voice a perfect blend of mechanical precision and urgent concern. Conventional defense mechanisms will fail within 72 standard time units. The threat wasn't just another space anomaly. Advanced sensor readings suggested a sentient destructive force, something between a technological plague and a living weapon. Swirling dark energy patterns indicated an intelligence far beyond current scientific understanding. Robotic defense units began assembling around the research station. Sleek metallic constructs with advanced quantum weaponry moved with synchronized precision. Each unit represented the pinnacle of technological defense, yet something fundamental was missing. We need a strategy that combines technological precision with adaptive thinking, Una realized, her eyes scanning multiple holographic data streams. Her human intuition recognized that pure mathematical defense would fail against this complex threat. Jay's projection moved closer. The boundary between holographic representation and physical presence became blurred. For the first time, their communication transcended professional protocols. They weren't just colleagues. They were becoming something more. The galactic threat approached, consuming entire star systems in its path. Massive energy waves twisted spacetime, revealing impossible geometric patterns that defied known physical laws. Traditional defense mechanisms looked pathetically inadequate. Una proposed an unprecedented strategy, a collaborative approach that merged human emotional adaptability with alien technological precision. Her plan involved creating a quantum resonance field that could potentially disrupt the destructive energy patterns. Probability of success, 0.0003%, Jay calculated. But there was something different in his tone, a hint of something beyond pure mathematical assessment. Their communication became more than professional exchange. Subtle emotional undertones emerged, revealing a connection that defied their respective cultural constraints. Each interaction revealed layers of understanding that went beyond standard diplomatic protocols. Specialized spacecraft began assembling. Human technological designs merged with alien engineering principles. Each vessel represented a unique, collaborative achievement, symbolizing the potential of interspecies cooperation. The cosmic battlefield transformed into a canvas. The vast, cold emptiness of space stretched before Una Park's spacecraft, the celestial horizon. Her fingers danced across holographic control panels, monitoring intricate communication frequencies that most would consider nothing more than cosmic static. At 28, she wasn't just another space communications officer. She was a maverick who believed in catching what others missed. The spacecraft hummed with sophisticated technology, its sleek silver-blue exterior reflecting distant starlight. Specialized quantum communication arrays surrounded her workstation, each pulsing with soft blue and green electromagnetic signals. Una wore a fitted navy technical suit, her short black hair tied back pragmatically, eyes sharp and focused. Suddenly, an unusual frequency crackled through her systems. Most officers would have dismissed it as random interference, but not Una. She adjusted multiple digital filters, her hands moving with practiced precision. The signal wasn't random. It was structured, deliberate, and definitely not human. Holographic representation materialized, strange geometric patterns intertwined with what seemed like complex mathematical sequences. Whoever or whatever was sending this message was intelligent, calculated, and desperate to communicate. Her heart raced. First contact scenarios were theoretical discussions during her Space Academy training, but this was real. The signal contained mathematical progressions that suggested an advanced civilization, far more technologically sophisticated than human understanding. The Celestial Horizons AI system began running simultaneous translation protocols. Complex algorithms processed each signal fragment, attempting to decode the mysterious transmission. Una leaned closer, her breath slightly quickening with anticipation. Outside the spacecraft's reinforced windows, distant planetary systems glimmered, some seemingly peaceful, others radiating intense electromagnetic storms. The universe felt alive, watching, waiting. A breakthrough came unexpectedly. The signal transformed from abstract mathematical patterns into something resembling language. Fragmented words emerged, concepts of distress, warning, and urgent communication. Whatever civilization was sending this message needed help. Una's training kicked in. She activated emergency communication protocols, creating a secure channel that could potentially respond without revealing Earth's precise galactic coordinates. Her fingers moved swiftly, encoding a response that used mathematical symmetry, a universal language of logic. The spacecraft's advanced quantum communication systems began transmitting a carefully constructed response. Mathematical sequences, prime number progressions, and fundamental physical constants formed a universal hello that transcended traditional linguistic barriers. Minutes felt like hours. The vast cosmic darkness seemed to hold its breath. Then, a response arrived. Not just mathematical symbols, but structured communication that suggested intelligent design. The sender identified themselves as part of the Interstellar Diplomatic Coalition, a collective of advanced civilizations monitoring potentially emerging spacefaring cultures. Their message was clear. Something significant was happening in this sector of the galaxy, a potential threat that required immediate attention and collaborative intervention. Una realized she wasn't just receiving a message. She was potentially witnessing humanity's first, genuine extraterrestrial communication. Her training, her intuition, her entire career had prepared her for this moment. The spacecraft's advanced sensors began collecting massive amounts of data: star charts, electromagnetic signatures, gravitational anomalies. Everything was being recorded. Each second brought new information, new mysteries waiting to be unraveled. Her communication console displayed multiple incoming data streams. Complex, holographic representations of unknown star systems, potential planetary structures, and intricate technological signatures surrounded her workstation. The Celestial Horizons AI was working overtime, processing information faster than any human brain could comprehend. In that moment, Una understood she wasn't just a communication officer. She was a potential bridge between humanity and something entirely unknown, a representative of an entire species about to step into a larger, more complex universal narrative. The first contact had begun, and she was ready. Thanks for listening. The Interstellar Communication Center buzzed with controlled tension as Una prepared for her first direct visual communication with the alien diplomatic representative. Advanced holographic projectors hummed to life, creating a semi-transparent communication space that bridged two entirely different civilizations. Jae Kim materialized, not physically, but as a sophisticated holographic projection. His appearance was simultaneously familiar and utterly alien. Geometric patterns seemed to flow beneath his skin, shifting like living mathematics. Where human expressions were soft and variable, his movements were precise, calculated, almost mechanical. Communication protocol. Initiation, his voice resonated, not through sound waves, but through a complex neural translation matrix. Objective, mutual understanding. Yuna realized this wasn't just a conversation, it was a carefully orchestrated diplomatic dance. Her training had prepared her for complex scenarios, but nothing could have readied her for this moment of genuine first contact. The Kao. Alien's communication style was brutally direct. Each word seemed mathematically measured, stripped of emotional nuance. When discussing their civilization's achievements, Jae presented data points like a clinical report: technological advancements, population statistics, resource management, protocols. But Yuna saw beyond the cold statistics. She noticed subtle emotional undertones hiding beneath the calculated presentation. A slight pause here, a micro-expression there, hints of something more complex than pure logic.